is Malik Yakini, and I'm Executive Director of the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. We do several things, including running D-Town Farm, which is Detroit's largest farm. We have 7 acres here. We have what's called a license agreement with the city of Detroit to operate the farm. And we do several things. We plant row crops in growing beds. We have some raised beds that we grow in. We have some hoop houses that we use for season extension. We, during normal times, do lots of tours of school groups, church groups, community organizations. We train new farmers each year, either through formal internship programs or through informal volunteer opportunities. We have a rainwater retention pond where we can collect more than 50,000 gallons of rainwater and use that to water some of our crops. We have this solar power energy station here that is really the only source of electricity on the farm. We're totally off the grid, except for the generation of electricity by solar energy. We do beekeeping, and we have all kind of public events out here during normal times. This year that didn't happen, but this is both a production farm, a kind of community healing space, and also a training facility. You know, so solar energy has been around for a long time, and so I've been aware of it for a long time, but I guess I became increasingly aware over the last 30 years or so as I became more aware of expendable energy sources and non-expendable energy sources and concepts like sustainability, and so things like wind and rain, which are renewable sources of energy, you know, take on much greater importance, and they don't have the same kind of detrimental effects on the environment as coal and oil and things like that. So that's totally in line with our philosophy as an organization, because not only do we practice sustainability in terms of our farming methods, but also we're interested in sustainable energy usage. And so solar is one of those things that we're interested in. So it was a collective decision. I mean, many of us were interested in solar energy at the farm. And again, we're totally off the grid, so we have no electricity. So we were trying to figure out how to get some electricity out here for power tools and things like that. These 10 solar panels were donated to us maybe 10 years ago. And they sat out here for a couple of years while we had a committee that was meeting, trying to plan out this solar power station. In 2015, Ali Dirul, who's actually a former student of mine. I used to run an African-centered school, and he graduated from the school, went on to get 2 degrees in engineering, and took to heart the things that we taught at the school about taking what you learned and bringing it back to your community. So in 2015, he approached us and was interested in this project, and he really took the bull by the horns and handled it. Ali really came and made the thing happen. And since that time, he's been the point person for the project. When there's repairs that need to be done, he's the person that we turn to, and he maintains us. And so it's really named after him. The Dirul Energy Station is named after Brother Ali. The champions in this, I would say, would be Ali and Blair Evans, who provided the panels, but also the people who worked with Ali. He didn't do it all himself. He had a team from Ryder Cooperative Industries who worked with him, including Karanja Famadou, who's actually our beekeeper here, but also works with Ali. And Brother Kojo Lee worked with that, and Karanji Kaduma also worked on the project. So there was a team of heroes really that made this come into being, working under Ali's leadership. Each year we have a harvest festival out here, at least during non-COVID years, and we have bands playing and musical equipment. We like to be able to power that instead of renting generators. But to do all that involves us moving the electricity, distributing it throughout the farm.
Right.
And so that's a project that's going to cost several $1,000s. We're hoping at some point in the relatively near future we get the funds to do that. But right now, everything is concentrated in this one spot.
Hey y'all, I'm Hakim at D-Town Farms. Right now we're at our pond. The pond is powered by this particular solar panel here. We have a box here where we can turn it on so that the power will flow from the box to our pump. When we turn the panel on, it'll kick on the pump.
Okay.
And when the pump starts pumping, we have to prime it first so that the water will come up and go through our PVC pipe.
Okay.
That runs into two big storage tanks we have up front.
Okay.
And that's the process. That's what's up.
The dependence of humanity on fossil fuels is a dead end, first of all. That is not sustainable, meaning at some point those resources run out. The tremendous resources that it takes to extract coal and to extract oil from the earth mean that only huge multinational corporations can be involved in that, and that makes all the rest of us dependent upon that. Whereas solar is something that can be democratized. We're not beholden to anybody else for this operation here. We're self-contained, and the same thing can be done on community-wide levels, on an individual house level, with organizations, so that we're not dependent upon corporations whose sole motive is profit rather than the well-being of people. We need the most up-to-date equipment. Like these panels right here are old and pretty much are at the end of their life.
Right.
So we're going to be replacing these soon. So having the new, most efficient equipment, if you're starting from scratch, would be something that would be important. And then having somebody like Ali, who is a community-based person who understands this process, because unless you're an electrician or an engineer, you're probably not going to understand everything that's involved in the wiring, the converting of the electricity from direct current to alternating current, the hooking up the batteries and all those kind of things. So having somebody who's well-versed in solar to lead the project, I think is important. But it's also important that the other people involved in it begin to learn those lessons so that we don't have all that information just concentrated in one or two people.